What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about testing out transfers to find the best settings that work for you. Now, you could consider this part 2 to the video that I posted a little while ago, where I talk about cutting up a transfer and using different settings to find the best settings for you, wash the shirt, dry the shirt, all that good stuff. Well, there's a lot of confusion in the comments. People didn't understand the process, they didn't understand the logic behind the test, and they couldn't grasp how it worked. So for the sake of this video, we're going to be using Supacolor Transfers as the example. Now, before you place that order with Supacolor, what you're going to want to do is order samples from Supacolor. You could go to supacolor.bigbrando.com. I'll leave the link in the description box. It's always there for you guys. And order a pack of samples. Now, why do you want to order samples? So let's say you watch my video about Supacolor Transfers and you're like, hey, he uses them, I'm gonna place my order right now. Then you order 25 transfers from Supacolor. You've never pressed Supacolor before, you never tested them out, you never tried them out, you know nothing but the videos that you've seen from me. So you spend your money, you pay for the 25 transfers, they get delivered to you, and you're like, all right, cool, let's get it going. You put your shirt down, you press your design on, and boom, it's not peeling up, or boom, it's not releasing, or boom, it worked. You washed it and then it came off. And then you blame Supacolor Transfers like, man, these transfers suck. That's not the case. You need to blame yourself because it's all in the application. You applied them incorrectly, and that's why you're not getting the results that you want. So now you're testing out all of these different temperatures and different settings to figure out what works best for you with the transfers that you paid for. So your order of 25 transfers, now let's say you tested out 6 of them. Now all you got is 19 transfers left. You already wasted those transfers doing this test. So why spend money on testing out the transfers when you could just order a sample pack from Supacolor directly? Hopefully that makes some sense to you. So you jumped online, you ordered the samples first, and now they send you a package with their wearable transfers, different sizes, headwear transfers, different sizes. I think their promo stuff, the sub block stuff. They send all the ink formulas that they offer in a package to your doorstep. Cool, now you have something to play with, now you have something to test out, right? Easy call. When you get the package in, there's probably gonna be like 4 or 5 transfers of each ink formula for you to test out. Maybe some different size transfers that they offer, but you're limited to what they send you, right? So like I said, if there's only 4 or 5 of a certain ink formula that you wanna use, do you just have 4 or 5 chances to press these on and test them out? No. So let's say this right here is one of the samples that they send you. This is a wearable transfer from Supacolor, right? Now, if I just press this whole transfer on, that's just one test that I'm doing. So what I'm saying is you want to cut this thing up into 6, 8 different pieces. Now you have 6 or 8 different chances to test out different settings with this ink formula right here. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, check it out. So here's the transfer right here, right? All you got to do is cut this thing up. Just like this. So now we have 6 pieces to test out, right? So this could be the recommended setting. This one right here, you could press a little bit hotter. This one you could press a little bit hotter. This one you could press a little longer. This one you could press a little longer than that. This one you could press a little longer. Now you have 6 different chances to test out different settings for yourself. This is what I mean when I said cut up the transfer into pieces and then press them at different settings. All right, now that you got your transfers all cut up, 6 pieces, 8 pieces, 10 pieces, whatever you did, however many times you cut these things up, this is how many chances you have to test out different settings. See what I mean? You didn't waste 6, 8, 10 different transfers. You wasted 1 to do your testing with. So in the sample pack, if they gave you 4 or 5 different transfers, cut each one of those transfers up into small pieces to give yourself more chances to test them out. Now, for the sake of the video, we're gonna be using this blue tape as the transfer. I'm not gonna run through the whole test and press 6 different settings and all that stuff because that's gonna be like an hour-and-a-half video. This test takes a long ass time, but understand this test is gonna help you figure out what's the best settings for you and your heat press with these transfers. So like I said, the blue tape is gonna be replacing the transfer. So imagine these little pieces of blue tape as the transfers as we press them on. Now, Supacolor recommends 300 degrees to 320 degrees. 10 seconds to 15 seconds to apply their transfers. Whether you're using a manual press or a pneumatic press, these are the settings. In their shop, they have pneumatic presses. This is what works for them. So now you have to figure out what's gonna work for you. Do you have a pneumatic press? Probably not. Do you have a manual press like myself? You probably do. So this is why we have to test this stuff out. So this is the part that was also confusing a lot of people in my last video, is how do you press them on there, and aren't the different settings gonna start messing with the other ones that you already pressed on? No, let me move the camera to the press and show you guys how to apply these things, because a lot of you guys were confused in that last video. All right, here's the blank t-shirt right here that we're gonna be using. It's just a regular all style t-shirt. You use whatever t-shirt you plan on pressing on, 100% cotton, 50-50, whatever t-shirt you're using. It doesn't have to be all style. It could be any t-shirt that you use. New, old, it don't matter. Whatever you plan on pressing those transfers on, that's what you want to test out, all right? So I use 100% cotton all style t-shirts. That's the t-shirt I'm using to test this thing out. You don't have to lay the shirt down like if you're gonna do a real press, right? What I usually do is I'll bring it to the side here. This is the part that I'm planning on pressing on. So remember, I was talking about blue tape. Pretend the blue tape is these transfers, all right? So what you're gonna do is just press this transfer right here, right there. Boom. Press it down, right? So pretend this transfer is this blue tape. Press isn't on. All right, blue tape. Pretend this little piece of blue tape is this transfer, all right? Place the transfer right there. Boom. Press it down. Whatever the recommended settings were, right? There's your first test. Slide the t-shirt up. Now you could press the next transfer right there, right? So here comes the next transfer. Adjust the settings. Let's bump it up 3 degrees, 5 degrees, whatever you want. Push it in, boom, press. Now, slide it up again. Here comes the next piece of transfer. Slap that sucker on right there. Adjust your settings, 3 degree, 5 degree hotter, whatever you want. Push it in, press. Look at how much extra space we still got to keep running this test. Keep going down all the way. As I press these on, the other ones aren't affected because I'm pressing somewhere totally new, right? Now let's say you want to go to the other side of the t-shirt. And you're like, oh man, well you did one side, let's do the other side. Here's the other side. Now let's take this other one, and what are we gonna do? Press for a longer duration. Start the test all over. Boom. Adjust your settings to whatever you needed to. Press it in. Boom. Press that one down. Then you're gonna move this down. Place the next transfer right here. Adjust the settings to whatever you need it to. Press. Boom. Once again, slide this down. Press the next one. Boom. Now, this one t-shirt has 6 different settings on here, and none of them were affected by the heat. See what I'm saying? So a lot of people were confused with this part. You don't have to lay the shirt down like you're gonna press right directly in the center of the chest. You have all these pieces of this t-shirt that you could do, right? So like I said, we just did this, slide it up, press the next one, slide it up, press the next one. Then you go to the next side. You still have all of this down here to test shit out. You still have the back. You could still test out, same exact thing. Sleeves, do the sleeves on both sides, all of that stuff. Take this t-shirt that has these 6 tests on there. Take this one t-shirt, throw it in the washing machine, throw it in the dryer. Figure out which one's gonna hold up best. Let's say, oh damn, this one right here started peeling up right after the wash. So you're like, all right, that's a no-go. Throw it in the wash again. Throw it in the wash again. Throw it in. Keep doing it until you see how all of these react in the wash. So then let's say that this one right here laid down the best, right? This one was down, this one peeled up. Let's say this one cracked up, this one cracked, this one peeled up, this one cracked, this one cracked. Out of all your wash tests and everything, this one did the best. This one held down. So If you wrote down on a piece of paper what all of these settings were, you know this one right here holds up in 12, 15, 20 washes because you've been washing this shirt so many times. This one peeled, this one peeled, this one cracked, this one cracked, this one cracked, this one laid down the best. These are your recommended settings. These are the settings that are going to work best for you and your heat press. Hopefully you guys understand this right here. Please tell me that this makes sense to you guys now. For some reason, a lot of people were confused. They had a bunch of questions in the comments. They didn't understand the logic behind this test. Maybe some people were just making excuses and didn't want to run this test. But you got to remember, as a business owner, if you're going to be offering something to some customers, this is the part of the game that you have to do. Don't just go based on me because you've seen me use Supacolor and you're like, oh, he uses it, I'm going to place a 100-piece order right now because he's using it, so it's got to be good. The transfers could be good, but if you don't know how to apply them correctly, they're not going to do shit for you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of transfer companies out there that make excellent transfers, and I can't lay those shits down, so I don't use them. I order samples from them. I can't get them to lay down correctly. Do I blame the transfer? No, I just don't use them because I blame the application. I couldn't get it right. I couldn't lay them down. I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, so I don't use that transfer company. Does it mean that that's a bad transfer company? No, that just means that for me and my setup, I couldn't lay them down, so I don't use them. Same goes for you guys. If you guys are using any transfer company out there, order samples first. Test them out, make sure you can lay them down before you place your order. Why waste money on some shit? Why waste money on just the testing process? If these companies are willing to send you samples, use the samples. When you go to ISS or the trade shows and there's transfer companies there and they're handing out samples, take those samples, cut them up, press different settings, and find out if you could lay these things down. That's all I do. That way I can feel fully confident when I'm sending stuff out to customers or pressing for customers. I know these things are gonna hold up because the settings that I use is the test that I ran, machine wash, machine dry. I know it's gonna hold up. So that way I'm not getting no complaints from customers. People ain't talking shit in my comments. It's just doing your due diligence as a business owner. It takes a lot of time, but if you're not willing to put in time to make sure you're providing the best quality possible to your customers, maybe you shouldn't be in this business. You know what I mean? Hopefully this video helped somebody out. Hopefully this video clarified a lot of the questions and confusion that you guys had. If you guys still got questions, leave it in the comments. If you don't understand this process still, leave it in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.